Hey everyone, so this is the 3 Plus Vibe Plus second generation, or the 3 Plus Vibe Plus 2. This is a $50 watch you can buy from Walmart. That's where I got mine from, or you can of course find them online as well. And for 50 bucks, it's actually a pretty nice watch. I was surprised with how decent it actually is. I was not expecting it to be as good as it is. You do get a nice colorful display. You get a 22mm black band that is easily changed out. It's just a standard 22mm band, so you can find more, crazy amount more bands on Amazon.com for actually rather cheap. This one does have the 3 Plus logo on it right there. The band's actually rather nice. It's actually nice and soft. Didn't bother my skin whatsoever. You know, some bands bother some people's skins. This did not bother me whatsoever, and it actually rather feels good on the wrist. You do get this side button here that hopefully you guys can see does have the 3 Plus symbol on it as well. And it is an actual clicking button. It does different things here. It does actually kind of scroll, I guess. You can move it, but that doesn't actually seem to do anything except for feel like it's moving. But getting to the watch itself here. And if you guys notice the flickering, that is because of the camera, not because of the watch. You of course do not see that when you're using the watch. One thing it does not have is the tap to wake it up, or to cover it up and put it back to, I guess, sleep, what would you say? The only way to really do it is turn away or wait a few seconds here. Again, there's no tap to wake. But you just hit the button, or you just do your normal flip, and it turns on. If we scroll down, you get your notifications, and from these we can see, like, I'll hit this Gmail one. It just gives you a very small amount of details, and then you can delete it if you want to. If you have your watch hooked up to an Android phone and you get a text message, you can do some quick replies on here, which is rather nice. And it's up to iOS or an iPhone, because of Apple being Apple. They do not allow you to do any sort of notifications, replying to notifications, but you can see it. You just cannot reply to it, but you can still see it, which is nice. We scroll up, we get into a quick menu here. We have a lock, so you can lock it so touching it does not do anything. So if it's in your pocket, or not your pocket, underneath your sleeve or something, or you accidentally tap it. You do have different brightnesses here. I've been keeping mine on the dimmest one to save on battery, and it's still actually pretty bright. We'll turn that up though for this video. You have your do not disturb. You have your vibration intensity. There's 3 different levels. Even the lowest one is pretty strong. I put mine up all the way. You turn this on where it wakes up for 5 minutes. Of course, you have airplane mode, on or off. You have a Find My Phone. Mine does not seem to really be working too well. The opposite way, going from the phone to Find My Watch, works very well. But the Find My Phone from the watch, it doesn't seem to really do anything for me. Let's get back. You do have a flashlight of sorts. It just makes the screen very bright and white. Then we do have settings here. Again, we do have different watch faces, which is rather nice. This one I downloaded off of the app for free. Again, you have your brightness levels. And if you swipe like that, it will go back to wherever you're on, or otherwise hit the back button on the top. System settings here, reboot, power, or reset it. Screen wake, so you can turn on always on display, or always on mode on, or turn on raise to wake, which is what most people probably end up doing. And we turn both off to where you hit the button to turn it on. I think you also hit your screen time out here. Usually I like to keep always on display on, but this watch, it will kill your battery. And by that, and I'll show you guys why, even on lowest brightness setting. So usually with a always on display, I will show off the Amazfit here. So this is actually the same face, which is actually cool. I found on both these watches. This is the Amazfit GTS 4 Mini, is its entire name. Similar watch, but this is over double the price of this. It's a bit over $100 here in the US. So this is the same watch face. Turn it on. It does like that, where it goes to sleep. when it goes to sleep, if I stop hitting it, you see it turns just to like a dark gray color. That way it's using up some more battery than if it would be off all the way, but it's not using up as much battery as when it is completely on. And you can see with this watch, the one we are actually reviewing here, the Vibe Plus, it's always on. There is no sleep mode like this is. So like this is grayed out. It just doesn't do that. So it kills your battery if with the always on display turned on. We'll keep it on for the rest of this video just to make this a bit easier. But that will kill your battery. I would say maybe you'll be able to get a day out of it. With the always on turned off, but the raised awake, I was losing about 15-ish% per day, give or take, and that's like walking around my work, which is 16,000 steps a day. So always on display will kill your battery. Raised awake, you'll probably be able to last 3 or 4 days, I would imagine, or more. Hopefully that makes some sense. Then we have Do Not Disturb. There's a Do Not Disturb Smart, and then Timed, and then we have device information there. Swiping either to the right or to the left will get you to, we'll just call these, I'm just going to call these widgets. I don't know what the actual word is for this. Let's call them widgets. So we have activity, your calories burned for the day, your steps taken for the day so far, and then standing hours. There's nothing else on this one. Next is heart rate. So you can measure it there. And it gives you a bit of a graph, and it tells you your max and then your minimum. And if it was on, it would tell me what my current heart rate was. Sleep. On the watch itself, is very basic. It just tells you how many hours and minutes you slept for, when you went to bed, and when you woke up, or when you fell asleep when you woke up. And then this graph here, which doesn't really mean much to you until you get into the app, which I will show off in a moment. Weather. This is another issue I've had with this watch, is I've had it hooked up to both a Samsung and iPhone. Weather just does not show up for me. I don't know why. It just does not come in. Blood oxygen, so that you can measure. I did it today. You do have to make sure the watch is nice and tight on your wrist, otherwise it will not work. That is decently accurate. I know with my Garmin it is somewhere in the upper 90s as well, or in the 90s. Music control from your phone. So you control your music on your phone from your watch. It does not have built-in music capabilities though. You cannot store your music. Pushing in and holding there, you can change your watch face if you want to. Hitting the side button will get you to this menu, which a lot of this is other stuff you can get to, like I just showed off by swiping to right or left. But we have activities here, so there's 25 plus activities. There's quite a few. From what I've seen from the few I've used or looked at, they're all basically the same. You get your basic, calories burned. You get your how long you've been doing it for, your heart rate, stuff like that. They're all pretty much the same, but there are different activities in there if you want. Workouts. Your history of workouts. I did elliptical this morning, so tell you your calories, your time, again calories, heart rate, and then VO2 max if it measured it, which it did not for me, and then your heart rate zones here, how long you were in each of them in percentages. So I mean that is pretty cool. Again, for a $50 watch, it is pretty nice. Your activity for the day again, so your calories burned, how many steps you have taken, your active minutes for the day, and how far you have walked in that day, as well as, I'm not exactly sure what that one means, 3 times standing. I'm not exactly sure what that one means. How many calories you burned, and your daily goal, a little bit of a chart for it, your steps, and again with a chart. Again, not sure what this one means. Right, then we have our heart rate once again. You have your sleep once again. You have your oxygen once again. Now you have a stopwatch. You have a timer, but no alarm built into the watch itself. Well, you can set one on the app. Music controls right there. Find my phone again, which mine does not seem to really work. And then once again, settings. And I skipped over one of these on accident there. Breathing. So you can have a breathing timer, a relaxation timer, your notifications again, and then your heart rate. So again, a lot of this you can just get to by going through the different ways of swiping. I showed off before. And then showing off the app here, it is the 3 Plus Pro. It's an okay app. Again, this is a $50 watch. I can't really expect the most out of it or the app itself. But it shows you your activity. It actually does it in a ring, kind of like the Apple Watch does. Your active minutes, your distance, steps, calories, your heart rate, and of course clicking on these will do different things as well. Your workout history. So a lot of this is the same stuff you can see on the watch itself. This is your weight. Again, distance, steps, calories, active minutes. Your sleep, which is what I'm going to show off here. So this gives you a bit more details than what you'd see on there. Actually, quite a bit more details. So again, you're out of 100% how well you slept. No watch I've ever worn has been very accurate for me personally. I sleep really bad, and every watch usually says I sleep pretty well. But I really do not sleep very well. But you can see, you can scroll through this, and it'll tell you the different what sleep you were in. So, and then down here it shows you your REM, your deep, your light, and your wake time. And it tells you in hours and minutes, which is nice. The Amazfit shows you it in minutes, which is kind of weird. But yeah, but it breaks it down a bit better than what you get with this. So it's same thing, but a lot better details on the app itself. And then going into any of these other ones, I will show you a bit more details as well. There, if you have any friends that are using 3 Plus stuff, you can find them on here as well. And we have settings here. We do have watch settings, so you can auto sync it. Again, watch faces. So this is where you'll find extra watch faces. There's actually a decent amount of them. Each of these has even more. By just clicking the more there, you can find more. Again, for a $50 watch, there's quite a few. Find your device. This actually works rather well. You can see how strong that vibration is too. I mean, it's pretty strong. Then we have, you can use your phone's remote camera remote here. And you see here, shake to take a photo. So that's actually cool. Then we have more settings. So you can set your units, your clock format, your temperature, and a few other things here as well. You can also download updates for GPS and the firmware, and they do a factory reset there. Then you can, in the app settings, you have your call, your missed call, your SMS, and then calendar, and then other apps. Whatever apps you want when you get a notification on your phone will show up on your watch itself. One quick note for that again is if you're using Android, you can do quick replies through messages, text messages. If you're using iOS, iPhone, you cannot. But you can still see them. Now for emails, mine at least comes in rather quick onto the watch, but messages, text messages, at least from my Samsung phone, was not very quick. It took it probably, I want to say half a minute to a minute from when I received the message on the phone to when the watch receives the message. Something to note. You have activity reminders you can set and hydration reminders you can set if you want. Here's where you can set up your alarms. But again, you cannot do it on the watch, which is kind of weird. Your sleep, so if you wanted to record REM, I don't know why you wouldn't. Then sleep detection as well. Then when you usually go to bed and wake up. And then heart rate, you can auto track it or not. So for a $50 watch, I think this is actually a rather nice watch. Especially, I mean, you can change out these bands. And again, you can get a crazy amount of them on Amazon for actually rather cheap. I mean, they have some like big packs of them for like $20. I mean, like 10 of them for like $20 on some of them. You can get very nice bands for very cheap on Amazon. I'm trying to say there. This is a nice watch. And if you just want a decent watch that actually has built-in GPS, I did not mention that. It does have built-in GPS as well, which is really cool for $50. Nice watch. It is a very, very nice watch. It does look like an Apple Watch. If you like that or not, it really does look like an Apple Watch. Very similar to one, just a lot cheaper, and it works with Android as well. Yeah, I mean, I do like this watch. For $50, it is a very good deal. Yeah, if you look at like the Macefit here, which is over $100, it's really nice looking, I would say. Y'all let me know what you think, especially if you lasted this long into the video. Thank you all very much for watching. But yeah, thank you all very much for watching. Though, let me know what you think. As always, I appreciate you. Hope you have a good one. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.